Cost estimates for Syria attacks vary widely. NBC Politics. MSN. Outlook. More. Autos. My MSN. Video. Careers and jobs. Personals. Weather. Bellish. Quotes. White pages. Games. Real estate. Wonderwall. Horoscopes. Shopping. Yellow pages. Local edition. Traffic. Feedback. Maps and directions. Travel. Full MSN index. Bing. News.com. Today. Nightly news. Meet the press. Dateline. MSNBC. Breaking news. Newsvine. Home. U.S. World. Politics. Business. Sports. Entertainment. Health. Tech. Science. Travel. Local. Weather. Advertise vertical bracket ad choices. Recommended. Cost estimates for Syria attacks vary widely. Recommended. Number Chuck top questions. Live Twitter chat with White House correspondent Thursday at 11:15 a.m. At. Recommended. Obamacare turns from GOP uniter to internal divider. Recommended. Bill Clinton reappears to pitch Obamacare implementation. Header point top underscore header left curly bracket background image URL http://cdn.lib.newsvine.com/chrome/images/header.jpg equals 10,479 right curly bracket. The latest political headlines powered by NBC News. About this blog archives. Email updates follow on Twitter. Subscribe to RSS. 197 comments. Print. Updated. 2 days ago. Cost estimates for Syria attacks vary widely. By Tom Curry, National Affairs writer, NBC News. How much could an airstrike in Syria cost U.S. taxpayers? Estimates this week had ranged from tens of millions to billions should President Barack Obama take military action against Bashar Assad's regime. Pentagon Press Secretary George Little is asked Thursday about the costs involved with a potential military strike in Syrian targets. For all the uncertainty, defense experts agree the cost of attacks in Syrian leader Bashar Assad's forces would be relatively small in the big picture of total Pentagon spending of about $630 billion a year. But congressional testimony this week by Secretary of State John Kerry and Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel and previous estimates by Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Martin Dempsey create some doubt about what the operation could cost and even about who might pay for it. Advertise vertical bracket ad choices. For the remainder of this fiscal year, for the remainder of the weeks in September, we were comfortable that we could accommodate the operations that would occur there, Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Jonathan Greenert said Thursday in a speech at the American Enterprise Institute, a conservative think tank in Washington. Many of those ships are already over there and already budgeted to be over there. 4 Navy destroyers are now in the eastern Mediterranean and would launch Tomahawk cruise missiles at Syria, if an attack order is given. The aircraft carrier, USS Nimitz, is in the Red Sea, a few hundred miles southwest of Syria. The Syrian thing, to quote one of our guys, is budget dust. That is, small relative to overall Pentagon spending, said Steve Bell, a former staff director of the Senate Budget Committee who is now senior director at the Bipartisan Policy Center. But the cost question is troubling some lawmakers, and the Obama administration seems to be acutely aware that cost concerns could undermine support for an attack. Kerry asked skeptically on Tuesday, is the Congress of the United States ready to pay for 30 days of 30,000 airstrikes to take out Bashar Assad's regime? Kerry implied, no, Congress won't be willing to pay for such a large operation. Representative Ilana Ros-Lehtinen, our Florida, said at Wednesday's House Foreign Affairs Committee hearing, even a limited engagement, if it ends up being